I like to hear a man in touch with his feelings right there off top of the show. Welcome inside Studio H here in LA with Paul Pierce, Jalen Rose, Chauncey Billups.
Mr. Big Shot.
I'm Michelle Beadle.
B. That's an awesome shirt you're
Is
rocking.
it?
I like it.
Well, thanks.
Looking very vibrant after
2018. We're all going to be positive. Two of the top three teams in the East set to face off tonight in Beantown, though Isaiah Thomas will not play at his former home. So now we will welcome in Doris Burke with the latest on IQ.
Hey, DB.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. Well, Isaiah Thomas just wrapped up about a 10-minute media session. There were a plethora of media, and of course, the conversation all day here in Boston is about, hey, should Isaiah be playing against his former teammates? What Isaiah said in response to that question was this. Once it was determined that this was the time he was going to come back, there was no way he was going to play in a situation where he could only play 17 minutes against his former teammates and former coaches, who he said he has nothing but love for. He said, I love Brad Stevens. I love Marcus Smart, even though he fouls me every time. Then, of course, the conversation turned to February 11th, the next time he will be here. And, of course, that is the truth tonight. And obviously, the great player in history that Paul Pierce has here, the question was asked, should you take away from that night? He said, listen, the video tribute is not all night. He goes, Paul Pierce is a legend, a great player. But the reality is, I want my family to be here. And this is why he chose to make sure if he's going to play, he's going to be able to play not on a minutes restriction. And Paul Pierce, I guess I would ask you, because you know the city, you know the kind of love they have for their stars. Is he making a mistake by not playing tonight in your estimation, Paul?
Not at all. Like he said, he doesn't want to play 17 minutes tonight. Going back to Boston after getting traded, after the family death, this is an emotional night for him. And it's a back-to-back. The Cavs got a chance to get a taste of what it's going to be like with IT out there, and they're going to bring him along slowly. The key is just being ready for playoff time, and that's when they'll need him most.
Plus, your jersey retirement's after the game, right?
Yeah, I'm after the game, so
Yeah,
it'll take nothing. I'll be excited to check IT out.
It's like a 3-hour ceremony after the game? 3-4 hours, probably?
No, I'll keep it short, 2.5.
He's 3 years, couple of All-Star games. He's the appetizer. You're the Hall of Famer. You're the main course and the dessert.
Give him some love.
We're giving him a matinee. You get IT at halftime, me after the game.
So here's devil's advocate. And I do agree with you, by the way. If you can't go full throttle and you have a choice not to go.
Especially against your old team.
No question. You can't. But there could be those that say, instead of playing last night, why don't you play those last 19 minutes tonight?
Just too much emotion.
I got a good answer for that.
I mean,
because I want to be able to kill the Celtics when I play.
Correct. That's where I was going,
and
sir.
I'm a guy that when I went back to play against the Pistons, I wanted to play as good as I could possibly play because I wanted to show them, listen, I'm not done.
Oh, look at that.
I'm still good. I can still play. I can still carry.
This makes me emotional, too,
so,
by the way.
Look what you're missing out on.
Listen, first of all, my man Mace just went, you know what?
Chauncey!
That's my man, but I always get buckets on Rip. I love Rip. He's my brother, man, but I always get buckets
I'm glad
on
he
Rip.
came on home up top.
Yeah, it was time. It was time.
This game is too emotional. Look, I left, and when I went to Brooklyn, when I came back to Boston, I could barely play. I mean, it's just too emotional. I know I was old and all, but it was just like tears. You know, this is the first time you're back. You know, this is an emotional ride for IT. You know, he was only there 3 years, but it felt like he was there his whole career because he established himself as an all-star. As he felt like, okay, this is my home. You know, pull up the Brinks truck. I'm going to be living here. You know, he had all that in his mind. And so it's
are you saying,
too emotional.
Had he played tonight, if they hadn't put him out there last night, he wouldn't have been able to, even 19 minutes, he would have still been.
I can't even imagine a scenario where he'll be comfortable. Like, it's just he left so much behind there. Like I said, it's just like, oh, the fans, they love him. He going to break down, think about the memories, think about what he gave him, think about the memorable playoff
performances. IT would have played tonight, they'd have got beat by 20.
How about this?
They got beat by 20.
As someone that didn't get a video tribute playing against a former team, even though I played against 10 former teams, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a future Hall of Famer. Congratulations on your nomination, family.
Thank you, sir.
When I went back to play against Indiana, I'm not proud of this story, but I still had a home there. My team had a party there. We had a really nice time. The problem is when we showed up for the game the next day, we got thumped.
Yeah, y'all was still at the party.
How good was the party?
The party was excellent. I'm still DJing and making wings.
Fair enough. Look, he's not playing tonight, but I do want to talk a little bit about what he did last night. He had 17 points in 19 minutes. Were you at all surprised at how good he was just in that short amount of time?
I was, Bees. I was surprised just at how efficient he was, how poised he was. and patient he was. Because, there's no way to assimilate a real NBA game. You can work as hard as you want in practice. You can work as hard as you want, with your trainer working out. There's no way to assimilate a guy being in front of you, knowing your game, trying to send you to the things that may be deficient in your game. But he stepped right out there and gets 17 points. I was surprised. I really was. And I was happy for him. I'm happy to see him back. I think that, he's going to help that team a lot. But I was surprised.
I was very impressed. But the thing people want to see is how well does he mesh with LeBron in significant minutes. He had a chance to pretty much run the second unit. He scored well in a short amount of time. But the key for them is how well does he play with LeBron James when LeBron has the ball and he's off the ball. He can play well off the ball, but I think that's what we're waiting to see.
Great to see Isaiah back after a hip injury, rehabbing himself, getting himself in a position to play. But when you get a chance to run with LeBron on a championship contending team, to your point, the pressure wasn't on him. Got a chance to play with the second squad, get my 17 points, get my reps up. I'm going to get a chance to rest tonight because I want to see him get a big contract based on the way he's played the last couple of years. And I hate to say it, it probably won't be in Cleveland.
Well, who knows? We'll see how this run goes. If Cleveland wins it all,
right,
I can definitely see him back.
I want to